Hey guys, so we're going to be transplanting some ferns today. So this is my front lawn, but I consider it the front and side garden. It wraps around the house. I usually refer to this as the shade garden or the forest garden. As you can see, there's lots of shade, predominantly from this maple tree and some white pines and some other varieties bordering the neighbor's lawn. If we look over here, lots of hostas. So I've kind of just been letting this area be pretty wild. I just use the mulch of the leaves and the pine needles that fall down. Something I've been experimenting with. Obviously it's not suppressed a lot of grass growth, but it has done more than we would have been mowing this area a lot just to keep it controlled with ticks and everything. That's a big concern here, but it feels like a woodland, you know, when you go into a forest and there's patches of openings that are covered in leaf litter. This feels like that, and so I feel very comfortable and safe walking in here. The grass isn't overly high. It feels very, I don't know, it feels safe in terms of ticks, although I do continue to check myself. So over here on the side we have bleeding hearts, ferns, hostas. I can't remember what this guy is, but I did leave the label. Primo wild rose. You can see that. So he's been growing here for a little bit and doing really well. Back here in this corner, we have lily of the valley, who they're done blooming. And creeping under the fence along with the creeping ivy is some comfrey. That's a transplant from my grandmother's garden. And I've got lots of growth over here. Black raspberry, Virginia creeper. In the early spring we do get some violets that I'm really excited about, and I've been trying to promote their growth. Like, they're really taking off. Occasionally we do get some of the invasive wild garlic, or wild mustard, wild garlic, which I have been pulling up. So learning about this area, trying to slowly cultivate it into more of a woodland garden. I'm trying to emphasize more natives. I know that not everything in my front area will be a native, but I'm trying to incorporate more of that. So trying to develop the shade garden over here. And this is where earlier in the spring, I planted some trout lilies and the name is, I can't think of the name right now, but some native plants like that. And I had really good luck with the nursery I got them from. I didn't buy very many. I probably should stock up on more to just hurry that growth a little bit more, help them spread. But I was really happy with that nursery, which I should link below. And I ordered some cinnamon ferns from them, and I'm excited to add some there because we want to build up that border. So the spring flowers, like the trout lilies, they'll come up first, and then later the ferns will grow after they're done. So these are the cinnamon ferns, and I guess they get quite large, and they like shade and they like moist soil. So I've prepared the soil over there by moistening it a little bit, and I've moistened these guys. They came in a bag. They're bare root plants, and you can already see, look at this little, I want to be very, very gentle, but look at that little fiddle head. Isn't that precious? I love it. And then while I was doing that, I decided to add these guys to the front garden too. These were growing along my vegetable garden bed. So it's a raised bed, and they get a lot of shade from that intense light because of that, from the intense, we have a southern facing garden in the backyard, which is fantastic. So the raised bed has been shielding these ferns that just kind of came up on their own. So we have some, I believe these are called sensitive ferns. I'm not sure of the exact variety. And this is just type of a wood fern. And they've been growing and thriving there, but I mean, honestly, they're getting a little big, so I hesitate to say that they're getting in the way because this is their land too, but I mean, it is difficult. It's going to be difficult to reach the veggies without harming them. So I figured let's carefully raise them and transplant them, and we'll just cultivate this into a fern area. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to plant all of these, and hopefully they will thrive. These sensitive ferns, they are really sensitive, as the name suggests. I have transplanted these successfully in the side garden. You saw them earlier. When I first transplanted them, it was probably the same growth, honestly, because these guys grew where I dug that up last year. So when I transplanted it the previous year, it kind of wilted back, and I thought, oh no, I killed the poor thing. But it did come back. It just needed some time to adapt. You know, transplanting, disrupting those roots is always a little traumatic. But it did adapt, and it's growing, it's thriving, and I'm hoping that these guys will do the same. And I'm going to get them in the ground ASAP. Same with these little cuttings. You don't want to wait too long to do that. So we'll check back soon and have fun gardening and adding green to your own lives.